Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, and in today's video is going to be a relatively longer video than all my other ones, but it'll definitely be helpful. So what I'm going to be going over today is what beginners should do when they first boot up the game Anime World Tower Defense, and basically show them how they should get started, and show them a little bit of tips and tricks on how to become stronger. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is codes. Unfortunately, these codes do expire after some time, so like after a month or two, these codes might not work, but just for the beginner's sake, I'm going to show them. If these codes do not work whenever you're watching this, just go ahead and look up code videos, and I guarantee you there'll be codes for that version that you're playing on. So the first code I'm going to show you guys is update 5, typed exactly like that. The reason why it's not working for me is because I had already redeemed it, so this should give you a decent amount of gold and 1,000 puzzle pieces. The next code is 20 mil visit. No visits, no S, just visit. Once again, I had already redeemed these, so I won't be able to show you guys like they're actually working, but they're working in update 5 version, so be sure to redeem those if you can. The next thing I'm going to be explaining to you guys is the banner. Now the banner is something that is a huge portion of this game, but is completely luck based. If you guys know, a lot of the Roblox tower defense games with anime has RNG into getting what you guys want. So you can see like Ares has a 0.187% chance, this is 0.075, and so on. So you guys can see. So the banners that I highly recommend beginners to start off with is Ultimate Warrior, World's Legacy, Rise of Heroes, or Legend Restival. These 4 banners are definitely ideal, but the one I recommend the most is to start off with this one, because you guys can get some really good stuff like Shielder for future reference. Alright, the next thing I'm going to be explaining to you guys is the story mode. So once you guys start the game, you guys are going to be like, okay, I had these cool new units, what do I do with them? So what you guys can do is go to the adventure area and go onto the story, which I will show you in a second. This game mode is from Story, Miss Force 1, this is what you want to click on. So you guys, if you don't want to bring like random people, go ahead and press friends only, so only people in your friends list, Roblox friends list, can join you. I highly recommend normal to do the progress through the story mode, because making it insane mode honestly doesn't give you much more rewards. But go ahead and clear the entire story mode. I highly recommend getting this just done and over with. There will be a difficulty spike around Katamura City, so if you guys want, you guys can continue watching the video and I'll explain how to get a little bit stronger. Okay, after this story, after completing a certain amount of story modes, so you guys can see Mist Forest 5, once you complete Mist Forest 5, you guys are going to unlock the Great Charuto Bridge. And what you guys would want to do with the Great Charuto Bridge is it gives you Ninja Scrolls. And these Ninja Scrolls are super helpful. So these are evolution items, and that is what's going to be referenced right after this portion of the video. So be sure to complete the story mode to unlock as much raids as possible, because these are super helpful for gaining like really good units. And if you guys want, I mean, you guys could use the units that some of these raids drop, like for example, if you were to go Exploding Planet, you can get Freza, you go to Marineford, you can get Whitebeard and Blackbeard. Charuto, you can get Zabuza or Haku. It really depends on what you guys want to do. And that's it for the raid portion. The next thing I'm going to reference here is going to be the evolution portion of the game. Now, the evolution part of the game is where you grab bad units and make them better. So you guys can go to the laboratory, and you guys can see a huge unit list of units that you have obtained, and you're like, what do I do with this entire list? Who should I go for? And what is the best and easiest ones to get? So the easiest ones to get, in my opinion, are the ones that I have in my team right here. But let's start off with one of my favorite starters, Arthur. So he requires a decent amount of damage, 4 duplicate summons of him, and honestly, he carried me through the entire story mode. He is such a good unit. Highly recommend you upgrade Asta. Definitely good for newer players. But let's get on to like the meta units. Some of the meta units that you guys would want to work for is you definitely want to have Royal Girl. She is definitely hard to get though, so I would like make that your big goal. Your big overall goal, because you need like 3.5 billion damage to get her. So like, you might want to just hold off on that. Then we have Hunter Kid. Hunter Kid is one of the easiest units in the game to get, but is the most brain dead thing ever. He does like 2 million damage on base. It's so ridiculous, and it's absolutely the most brain dead thing ever, and honestly, highly recommend it. Then we have Broly. He is also relatively easy to get, and another unit I highly recommend getting. So definitely try your best to get some of these units. Alright, we have Yuno. Yuno is a air unit. He is the green element, and he's decent. I'm gonna be honest with you, he's not the best air unit in the game, but for beginners, he's definitely ideal. And then we have the Virtual Swordsman. He is a must-have. Just like Gon, he is a must-have. He stacks so much damage, he deals so much damage, and has such a good AoE. I highly recommend the Virtual Swordsman. And then Koji. Koji is also relatively cheap to get, and he's pretty good. So if you guys want to get your hands on Koji, I would definitely recommend it. And Blossom. Blossom is also a must-have. So in medium, or in, you guys know how in normal mode there was like these yellow bars. I'll show one on the screen right now. Those yellow bars are actually stamina meters, so you gotta feed your units in the modes hard and insane to actually keep your units to continue attacking. But what Sakura does is makes it so you don't have to buy food at all, and she can just straight up heal everyone in her range fully, which is so good for raids. So honestly, get Sakura, get Gon, get the Virtual Swordsman, and maybe Yuno, and you'll be set. And I mean, Asta's pretty good too. But again, with the raids, we're gonna go back to raids just for a little bit. You guys can go to the laboratory and you guys can see that some of the units need like regeneration beams, demon blood, stone masks, red jewels, ninja scrolls. If you guys remember, the ninja scrolls were dropped by the Great Naruto Bridge back in the raid from the story mode unlock. And again, you just gotta do those game modes, collect the demon blood, and unlock these characters. And some characters require duplicate summons, and some characters require damage. So you gotta use damage with the bad unit in order to get the better unit, which I have a video on how to grind some good damage in the playlist for my tips and tricks. And if you guys want to know how to get gold, there is also a tips and tricks video in there as well. And the last thing is you guys can get miracle units. Now, miracle units, they're absolutely fantastic. So you guys can see, like, this miracle unit I have yet to get, but I'm gonna get soon. I'm gonna get the demon blood, I'm gonna get the hollow shards, and basically what miracle units are just extremely powerful units. They just have a harder skill to get. So what miracle units should you aim for? I highly recommend the Shining Star Idol, because she is relatively easy to get if you guys can get the idol postcards from the raid I'll show you guys later. And probably Berserk Mecha. He may be insanely difficult to get, but he does some really good damage. Alright, so the last thing we're going to cover is the idol postcard and some like calamity orbs. Like, what are these things? How do you get ancient orbs? How do you get god earrings? Like, all these confusing stuff. Alright guys, so this is actually the last portion of the video, guys, remember. So be sure to go to the teleporters in the adventure area and click on Legends. So you guys can see the Evil Pink Dungeon, which gives the God Earring, the Dark Heart, the Miracle Pearl, and the Ancient Core. A bunch of the items that you need for a lot of characters that you want to evolve. You guys got the Idol Concert. If you guys have like a squad, be sure to do Insane Mode to get 3 cards each, just to make that idol process a little faster. But if you guys can't, just do the 1 each, normal mode, no biggie. And again, highly recommend this raid. It's super, super, super good. If you guys go to the Summer Beach Dungeon, I'm not quite sure if this is going to be the best one to grind due to the fact that it might not be here forever. On top of that, the only special drops that it gives is Noelle and the Teardrop to Upgrader. And the last thing I want to mention is the orbs. So you guys, if you remember, if you go back to the laboratory, you need like colored orbs. So this is how you get them. So if you guys want a color, you guys gotta choose a color of what type of orb you want, and then do the corresponding raid. And if you do more, if you get farther in the raid, and if you do on a higher difficulty, the more you get, so on, so on. So guys, that's actually going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. And if you guys like my content, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share the video with a friend, and comment down below anything that I may have missed or things that you guys would love to see. I would love to help you guys out. And if you guys are still confused on like how to get gold and how to get damage, go ahead and go to my playlist and check out those 2 other videos that'll make it easier for you guys to evolve your units. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy Anime World Tower Defense, and see you guys next time.